What's going on? It's time for another Real Table podcast. This is episode 13. And I'm currently on my way back to my house. Me and Alex just got done fucking around at Dutch Bros. And now I'm on my way back to take a shower and go to sleep. Well, I might read and then go to sleep and then wake up tomorrow. A little, not like early for me. Well, even then, I gotta be at work at 2:30. And since I'm up, it's almost 3. It's like 2:54 right now. I guess, like, I'm gonna do it. So I do have to kind of be up a little bit. Yes, that was the seat buckle. I do have to wake up a little bit earlier than usual because my sleep schedule's all jacked up. My sleep schedule is, it's like 7 to 8 hours. It's just pushed back or forward. I don't know how you look at it. So instead of going to bed at like midnight and then waking up around like 8 or whatever, I go to bed at like 2 or 2:30 and then wake up sometimes around noon or 1. Between 1 and 2 is when I try to wake up on days I don't have to wake up early. Which, by the way, school's done. Thank Christ. And I found out today that I passed all my classes. So, boom. You can suck at school. You didn't take me down this time. You can try again next semester. But so far, I've come out on top. Actually, I got a A, 1 C, and then I think 2 B's. If not 2 B's, then 2 C's. But I think I got 2 B's in that because I took 4 classes. Why the fuck am I explaining 4 classes? I've been talking about this shit for like a month and a half now. Basically, I think the first or second podcast was when I started my my computer class. So yeah, I've been talking about this shit, all the time. So yeah, this is episode 13, and I haven't missed a day yet. It's been every Wednesday and Saturday. So yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, man. Also, I want to give a shout out to everyone out there who's been tuning in and listening. I know I don't have too many views or subscribers right now, but hey, you know what? Eventually one day I'm going to be in a studio doing this shit actually live instead of almost live, and we're going to look back and be like, hey, remember when I used to record the podcast and when I was sitting in my car in my driveway, or when I was driving around, doing shit or whatever, or not doing shit. If I was doing shit, then I wouldn't be able to record. So, good job, Stone, on that one. So anyways, that's probably the biggest news. I passed my class. Because I said it before, I didn't think I was going to pass 2 of them. But I did. I don't know, I don't know what the hell, but I got really good grades. I got a 95 out of 100 on the essay and the music review. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? How did I pull that one out of my ass? I don't know. I really don't know how. It just happened. But I'm not questioning him. I'm not going to email him and just be like, hey, why did I get that high of a grade or whatever? I'm going to take it. Basic voice crack. I was laying in bed today. I woke up and I saw the email and I'm like, oh, God. All right, here we go. Let's face the music. Although, when I turned it in, because I think I talked about in the last podcast, I had to go to the school early to print out the papers because my printer ran out of ink, of course. So I got there, and then I found out I brought my sources in, and apparently I didn't even have to print them out. So it's like, what the fuck? But when I turned it in, he's like, hey, what's this? And I'm like, they're the sources. Well, wasn't I supposed to bring them in? He said, well, no, but I'm looking forward to reading these now. Thank you. And I'm like, yeah, cool. And in my head, I'm like, maybe he'll give me an extra 5 points. Maybe that'll bring my 65 to a 70 or something like that. But I don't know. Maybe it brought my 90 to a 95. I don't know. I really don't. All I do know is that this semester's done and I'm entering rebuild mode, which I just need to cut back on spending. I have spent, not just cut back, but I need to like be smarter, you know. So at the stadium, I'm buying, I'm going to try to cut back and not buy food at the stadium. And if I do, I usually only buy a couple hot dogs, and it only equals like $4. Which actually, I know that might be a lot, but for in a ballpark where everything's pretty pricey, that's actually really good. For 2 small-sized hot dogs for $4, I'll take that, all right? And then you just get a cup of water, you know, from outside or wherever, because I did tickets today. And so today so yesterday Diamondbacks won. They were down. It was 1-1, and then the Braves hit a home run, and then with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, we hit a home run, tie it, and then in the next inning we came back and won. I'm sorry if the camera is picking up anything. I am driving on the road, and let me try to get over in the middle lane. Maybe it's smoother. No, it's not. Oh well. And then today, it was like virtually the same game as yesterday, but we lost today. We won yesterday 3-2, but today, no, actually yesterday was technically, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Okay, let me try this again. 2 days ago, we won 3-2. Yesterday, we lost 2-1. Yeah, 2-1. Braves again hit a home run in the top of the 8th, and then we just couldn't do anything. And with that said, why the fuck, when you drive on roads, you drive on some roads and it's just like, oh wait, hold on. It's like this. It's all bumpy and everything. Yeah, I had to get my lips wet so I could go like that. But why is it like you drive on a main road and the roads are fucking bumpy as hell and they never get fixed? But there are roads that are perfectly fine, and those roads get closed down all the fucking time, and they always get fixed. What the fuck? Why is that a thing? Like, really? That's wrong. That's dead wrong. Fix the main road. Yeah, if you have to close it down, that should give you the incentive to work faster and not take your sweet ass time standing around, you know, with your dick in your hands and be like, hey, look what I can do. I can make it spin in a circle like this or whatever. Figure it out there and fix the road. Okay? I hate driving, and this is like the nice part of the road, but I fucking hate that. Because apparently in Alex's neighborhood, they closed down some of the streets to to take out the I don't even really know how to describe it. You know how like on the sidewalks, they have the little, you know, like the round part, and the sidewalk goes into like a little mini ramp. Well, they closed part of those streets down or made it into a 1-lane road to take out the cement there and put in new cement. Why? Like, really, why? Who the fuck complained about the whole neighborhood being like that? But main roads like the one I'm on right now that are bumpy as fuck, and then they don't get fixed. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. I don't get it. You know, I don't understand where you know, who makes all these decisions. Have they not received enough complaints or whatever? Is it like, what is it? They have to reach 1,300 complaints a month before they fix it? Yeah, like that. That's a main road I just want, or a main light, and people are on all the time, and they're just not going to fix it, or what? Or are they going to fix it? Like, have they not reached the number of complaints it takes? Like, is the magic number 1,300, and every month they only get to like 1,150, and then at the end of the month it just like starts over at 0? I don't know, I'm just talking out of my ass, but still, give me an explanation. Give me something, all right? Even if it's a shitty reason, it's better than nothing. This is like when I tell people about movies with plot holes in it, where it's like, just give me an explanation. Even if it's a bad one, just give me something to work with, okay? Because when you leave it up in the air with no explanation at all, it's just worse. It really is. Like in Avengers, there's so many questions that kind of just almost ruin the movie. Not ruin it, but like almost ruin it. Like so much shit, like in Endgame. when Cap picks up Thor's hammer and apparently he can summon lightning, like, hold on, how can he summon lightning? You know, I think he can pick up the hammer, but if he raises the hammer, then lightning comes to whoever has it? That's the thing, I don't know. And I wish they could have just offered any sort of explanation in there. But, you know, they're not. And also, they're making a Spider-Man movie after this. Is that going to be like the encore performance? Avengers Infinity War was like the last song, and then Endgame was like part of the last song. And then Spider-Man Far From Home is going to be the fucking encore, and then that's going to be the end of the show. I thought they were going to make Guardians 3. And I told you Gamora was going to come back. But again, I don't understand that. Gamora could come back, but, you know, okay, you know what? If you haven't seen Endgame right now, it's been a while. Go see it. This is your own fault. Spoiler alert. But if Gamora could come back and live, why couldn't Black Widow? Like, seriously, I don't get it. And I know Hulk's like, I tried to bring her back. Again, that at least they gave an explanation a little bit. He tried and it didn't work. Would have been better if they said why it didn't work. But at least he tried, okay? It's not like they sat there and they're like, well, what the fuck? I mean, I was sitting in the audience going, oh, what the fuck? And I've talked to a couple people, and apparently they didn't really like Endgame. They thought it was okay, you know, it's kind of a letdown, it's kind of disappointing. But really, how do you expect a movie to pretty much end and summarize literally an era of 11 years? 11 years build up, that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure. But yeah, how would you expect them to finish and end on such a high note? I mean, I don't know. I think it did a fairly good job. I'm not a huge Marvel fan, as everybody who's been listening on here, or people who just know me. I'm not a huge Marvel nut or whatever. I'm just going to take this off. As I take my seatbelt off and I get rammed from whatever side. You know what I don't get? I don't get you see like the Lost Dog posters? Well, I don't get found dog. Instead of lost dog, it's found dog. They put a picture of a dog that's been found. And you go, well, I'm glad he was found, but why is this up here? You gotta take that shit down, dog. We want to see the lost one so we can keep an eye out. If it's found, then what the fuck are we gonna do? It's like, oh, thank God I can sleep. I can finally go to sleep! They finally found the dog! I don't know why I just yelled right like that. It's 3:06 in the morning, and we're not even 13 minutes into this shit. So I don't know. Do I really want to make this thing an hour? Kind of. Maybe. Not really. I don't know. I want to try to get some good sleep. Yeah, good sleep. What is good sleep nowadays? My problem is I either get too much sleep or way too little of sleep. And I'll give you an example. On, I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, I think it was Tuesday. I was so tired and I got such terrible sleep. I woke up and I actually had to splash water on my face. I've only had to do that maybe 2 or 3 times in my whole life. Because the weird part is, and maybe I've explained this before, but I actually function really well on less sleep. Like if I get 4 hours of sleep, 4 or 5 hours of sleep, I function very well. Like I find myself up and about. I'm like, I'm running around work. I'm feeling good. Or if I got to go to school. Yeah, but if I get 6 to 7 hours of sleep, I feel even more tired, which is kind of weird. It's ironic in a really kind of like teasing, screw you type of way. Oh, look at that. Good old driveway. Here we come. Now we can record the rest of the podcast in normal fashion. In the fucking driveway. Well, that probably sounded great. Turn off, and turn off. Alright, so I guess we can get all this shit. We can unplug that. Get all this, put this together. Yes, this is all being recorded. Whatever can make this thing longer. Okay. Where are we at? 3:09, 15 minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm really tired. But I'm really excited because school's over and I'm really dedicating myself to working a lot this summer. I really need to crack down and start saving up. I have a goal in mind. I have a number I want to reach before the end of August or at the end of August. And I think I can do it. I really think I can. Because, look, I'm not going to be able to cut back completely on, like fast food and even food in general. I just won't be able to. But I can slim down and cut back on it. Maybe drastically sometimes, maybe not. I'm going to pig out from time to time, all right? But I can be smart with my money. And sometimes I might have to just do... Because sometimes I eat before work, during work, after work. Maybe if I just cut back 1 or 2 of those. Eat during work, that's it. And then just come home and eat. Or eat after work. Or eat before work, and then wait till after work and come home and eat. Jeez. Again, why is it I go through the whole day, everything's fine, and then when I record, that's when I can't talk? Like, I don't know. One thing that I've been wanting to do, I want to sit down and just play video games. But every time, I got a message from Alex. It's a YouTube video. I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it later, buddy. What the fuck? There we go. Alright. Where was I? Yeah, I want to just sit down and just have a video game night. Even just like by myself. But I can't, because every time I'm always going out, and when I come back, I always get distracted by watching a movie or a TV show, and then I end up not doing it. So, maybe tomorrow I will. If what's his name doesn't get back to me, then maybe I'll just like chill at the house tomorrow. I mean, I'm recording this now, so I don't have to do it tomorrow night, so there you go. Oh, shit. Sorry, it's Saturday, May 11th. Fuck, I should have, I gotta work on that. I really do gotta work on that. Oh, and what Metallica song am I gonna review? I don't have my iPod with me, so I'll just pick one. I'm gonna pick Hell and Back by Metallica. I'm going with that one. It's on the EP Beyond Magnetic. Jeez. It's the third, no wait, hold on a second. No, yeah, it's the third track on the album, or EP, sorry. For those of you who don't know what EP means, it means extended play. A normal album is called LP, which is long play. And it's like 6 minutes long, it's pretty good. It's got some, cool parts, but overall it's pretty, it's got some cool riffs in there, but it's all right. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It's just it's a good Metallica song. And speaking of Metallica, they've been stepping up their game with their set list recently. Like, I've been checking this shit out, and it's cool, but it makes me frustrated because it's like, why weren't they doing this when they came to Phoenix? When they came to Phoenix, they played, like, the most basic songs. They, like, played all their hits and, like, maybe 1 or 2 deep cuts, and that's it. Oh, my God. Like, everybody says this, but if I could make my Metallica set list, it would be amazing. Even if I only had 18 songs or 19 songs to choose from, I could still do it. I will say this, their opening to their concert where they opened with Hardwired was one of the most intense openings I've ever seen. It only rivals, and I haven't seen this, I've seen videos of it, but Pantera opened a show with Suicide Note Part 2. Fuck, I would not want to be in that venue. I wouldn't even want to be in the building. People are like, if I could go back in time, I'd see this band and this band. And Pantera, it's like, I don't think I'd want to go to a Pantera show. Like, Pantera shows make Slayer look like child's play, from what I hear at least. I heard Pantera mosh pits are like the most, like, you don't want your kid going to a Pantera show. He's going to come home with a broken nose or a mashed up face or whatever. I will say this, if I could go back in time, I would love to see Rush in like 1977, 78, probably 78 on the Hemispheres tour, where they played Cygnus Book 1 and then Hemispheres Cygnus Book 2. Oh my god, it'd be great. It'd be fantastic. Play all their old stuff, 2112 and Fly By Night, Farewell to Kings. Oh my god, it'd be fantastic. What else? I would definitely see Metallica on like the Justice for All tour. It's a funny story. My dad has seen Metallica. He saw them twice, 2 or 3 times. And one of them, he and his friend won tickets on a radio show. So he got the tickets. They didn't know where the seats were. They got to the venue, and their seats were literally, I kid you not, they were like 4 rows from the front, from the stage. They were like 4th row. And at first they were like, oh, it's cool. And then they were like, wait a second. They were right in front of the amps. So apparently my dad said it was the loudest concert he had ever been to. And he said he was miserable, though. He just did not enjoy it. Because he said it was so loud to the point where it was hurting his stomach. Which I don't know if I've ever experienced that before. But I do know when it's loud, it sucks. Because especially when it's not in your control. It really sucks. And apparently he said when they played One, he remembered that was really loud. And he said Creeping Death was cool because the whole... And this was back in the 80s, late 80s. There were no cell phones. Nobody was recording. They were watching the show. And people don't understand this, but in Creeping Death, there's that part in the middle where it's like that down, the Die by My Hand, where the crowd yells, die, die, die. I mean, he said the whole crowd was just chanting die, and he's just like, it was cool, but it was weird. And it's like, yeah, it might be a little weird to be in a crowd where they're all yelling die. You feel like you're in the Salem witch trials, or you're just living in the 1800s, North America. Or really anywhere in the world. And then he said at the end of the show, they were playing Seek and Destroy, and James was walking with the microphone and putting it in people's faces. And he was coming up to him, and he's like, oh, please don't come up to me. I can't do it. And I asked him, I was like, when you got there and you saw how close you were, why didn't you just go get, earphones? And he said, well, I didn't know it was going to be that loud. But it's still a funny story. I'm just going to, do that really quick. Always want to keep the doors locked because you never know. There's some weird, crazy people out there. In fact, I remember a few years back when there's this guy going around, and apparently he was in Maryvale. He would park his car, and he would wait for people to come back to their house at night, and he would just take them out. He'd just shoot them while they were walking in and out of their house. And apparently he was in Maryvale, and people were they kept going out, but he was getting closer and closer to Phoenix. And, yeah, that's a little worrisome. And that also reminds me, that was the one time, how people say I was scared, to death, or I was just I was frozen with fear. Well, I was, and I now know what that's like. I know what it's like to be so full, afraid you cannot move. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. Because I was standing, I got out of my car and I was going to the door and I was, getting the keys out. And I don't know why, but a car was turning, because I live next to a street corner, so people make turns all the time. They make lefts all day long and right. I'm so stupid. They make lefts and right. Yeah, good job, Stone. Anyways, it was at night, and I was standing there, and I saw headlights, start way over at the next house, and then they come over, and I just was like, what the hell? And I looked over, and I saw a car, turning, He was just driving, but I was just like, I could not move. I remember I tried to move. I was telling my body, I was like, move, unlock the door, get inside. But I just couldn't. I was just like frozen. I was like looking over my shoulder, like, and I was like, is this it? Is this how I'm going to go out? Am I going to get gunned down in front of my own house? And then the car just drove away, and I'm like, oh, what the hell? So I got in and, ran inside and locked the door, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I think this was the time when I was still with my ex, or we weren't together anymore, but, you think about, if you're with somebody, you think about, like, your sister, like, family or friends, just walking, because how often do you, go in and out of your house? Sometimes at night, you're unloading something, you gotta, I left something in the car, and then you go out and grab something, you come back in, you do it all the time, or maybe not all the time, but you do it. So, yeah, that was not fun. That was not a fun time. But you know what? Thank God I lived in Phoenix, or I still do. We don't really have any, like, well, it's not entirely true. We had Jodi Arias, but she wasn't a serial killer. She just, like, killed her boyfriend, which apparently she was still allowed to, like, have a Twitter or some sort of social media. She was still writing stuff, and people were able to write to her in prison, and she would write back, which is fucked up. Like, that amazes me. The people are in prison, but they're still allowed. I mean, they took it away eventually, where she didn't have social media. But, like, what? That makes no sense. Yeah, you killed. You're on suspicion of killing your boyfriend. We know you did it. We're just awaiting the verdict, or you're guilty, and you're going to be in prison for the rest of your life. But yeah, you can have a social media platform. Sure, go for it. Makes no sense. I don't get it. But anyways, so hockey playoffs they're nearing towards an end, but we're still not in the finals. We're in the conference finals. Boston won game 1 against Carolina, 5-2. I didn't see the game, but yeah, 5-2, and I don't want Boston in the finals. Why does Boston get to have winning seasons and winning teams all the damn time? Oh God, I hope the camera didn't pick that up. Sorry. Jeez. That was rude of me, I'm sorry. Although I just ate like an hour ago or so. No excuse, I'm just saying. Anyways, why does Boston get to... They do not deserve another championship. They don't. I mean, I think the Celtics are still in. I'm not sure. The Bruins are 3 wins away from the Stanley Cup. The Patriots already won. And the Red Sox are heating up. They beat the Mariners like 14-1 today. So I'm not looking forward to it. Don't want Boston doing good. Why can't we have, like, hey, look, a bunny. Or a rabbit. Bunny rabbit. It's finally back. They got more rabbit sightings. That's so weird. It was like that. I think that's like the first rabbit sighting we've had in a while. But anyways... it amazes me, like, you look at Hollywood and you see, like, some of these movies that come out. You think to yourself, these movies, the plot can be described in literally one sentence. And you make these movies. Do you think, like, some of these horror movies that are made, do you think the people in the movies, not just the actors, but, like, the production company and the director or whatever, do you think they know this movie's going to be a piece of shit, so, let's just have fun with it? Even though it's like a horror movie and everything. Because you see some of these horror movies and you're like, what the fuck? This got made? This got made into a movie? Like, every once in a while, it's weird to say I like horror movies, but every once in a while you'll watch a horror movie that you kind of like get into, you enjoy it. And then there's some where it's just like, oh, fuck this movie. Like, what was that movie? Oh, It Follows. Yeah, It Follows was good. It was creepy. I I'd say that's a thriller or suspense. I guess it did have some gory parts, like in the beginning where the girl like gets her leg bent over and just they just show her aftermath on the beach, which is like, the fuck, what'd that guy do? Did he just really just bend her leg back? She probably did die of shock or whatever, but unfortunately, I don't know if that would kill you unless he like, I don't fucking know. But anyways, I did like the It Follows thing because at first when it's just like, oh, it can only be passed through sex, it's like, what the fuck? That's so lame. But then I read that it's like, oh, it's a metaphor on AIDS and transferring AIDS and doing all this other stuff. Oh, 30 minutes halfway there, boys. So in that case, it's like you think about it and you're like, yeah, that is pretty. Yeah, you have AIDS and you go and have sex with someone else and you give them AIDS, and sometimes you tell them, sometimes you don't. You should tell them before that you have AIDS or stuff like that, but some people don't do that. So you think about that, and it's an interesting metaphor. Again, you don't want to say, oh, I like it. I like people, all that other stuff. But still, it's a very weird movie. If you haven't seen It Follows, I know that when that movie came out, there's a lot of hype for it, but now it's 4 or 5 years gone. It's a good movie. I think some of it's a little overhyped. That's just, me speaking. Oh, what was there another movie? The Babadook. I think that was a plane or something. Yeah, The Babadook. I watched that movie and I don't know, like it was unsettling to watch. It didn't really like scare me. I don't know if I don't think I've talked about this, but I think the only reason the Babadook was scary was because of the accent of the main female character, the mom in the movie. Because look, if I say it Babadook, if I say it with like an American accent, like with a hard art Babadook, it sounds like I'm saying a word wrong. But with how they say it, it's like the Babadook. The Babadook. That just sounds scary. The Babadook. You gotta get rid of the Babadook. You say it like that when you like whisper it, like she does in that movie, then it becomes, yeah, it's a little creepy. But when you say the Babadook, you can't get rid of the Babadook. That doesn't sound. I know I'm just being all melodramatic and monotone about it, but still, it's not as scary. It doesn't pack that big scare punch in it. And also, why the fuck was there a vibration masturbation scene in the Babadook? I could have gone the rest of my life without seeing that shit. Whoever the director is, get him on the line, because I need to get him on the Real Table podcast, and I will ask him, sir, why did you have that scene? That made little to no sense. I guess I kind of get, yeah, she's a single mom, she's been single for a while, and she doesn't get pleasure from, like, other guys, because she has a really fucked up kid. But she can't lock a door. What the fuck was that? Dude. What the fuck was that? That sounded really weird. I just turned the light on. I don't know if you'll see a difference. I wonder if the camera picked that up. 33 minutes. That was really weird. I wonder if am I gonna get murked in my own car like Newman did in Jurassic Park? I hope not. I should call this podcast something about Newman in Jurassic Park. But anyways, yeah, the whole, like, I guess I kind of get it. Yeah, she's sexually frustrated and she just wants to whack off, and she has to, like, get a vibrator. I get it, but she can't just, like, lock the door. What's the kid gonna do? Just knock, and then you go, all right, hold on, you just turn it off, put it down, you walk over. Oh my god, my stupid body's making all this dumb noise. Totally fine the whole day, don't do anything. I start recording, and my whole body just goes. Stupid. I'm trying to talk about this stupid Babadook movie. I don't know. It's really weird, especially in the end. So what? The thing just chills in the basement, and they have to just feed it worms or something? Why don't they just keep it in the basement and just move out? Or burn the house down and just move away, you know? I mean, come on. They could totally just make it look like an accident. Just set the house on fire, leave for a couple hours, and bam, you come back. You know? Just stage it. Just have an oily rag, just buy a curtain, just set it on fire, leave, and come back. You know? Even if the fire department goes through the, the debris and finds it, it's not like they know, oh, you started this. They could speculate, but boom. You killed the Babadook, it's gone now. But I don't know. I don't want to see, the Babadook Reloaded or whatever. I don't want to see sequels. Too many damn sequels. Too many sequels, prequels, reboots in Hollywood. Nobody wants to be original because it's hard. It's hard to come up with something new today. It's hard. Oh, really? That job is hard? Why don't you go dig a hole in the middle of the road? Or go install an air conditioner? Well, no, that job's hard. Yeah, exactly. So what hard job would you rather have? One where you get to sit in an air-conditioned room and just draw shit or write shit? Or one where you have to go outside and stand in front of the sun for 10 hours a day? Or go inside a even worse attic? I mean, come on. People like the whole Writers Guild of America strike. Shut the fuck up and get back and write some My Name is Earl. That is so stupid. We don't get paid enough. Really? You don't get paid enough. And you're going on strike? I mean, I don't know what example you're going to set for your kids, but I mean, I don't know. I think they won. I think they got a raise eventually. So I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe we should do that. Well, I'm not going to because that's dumb. I'm not going to, be like that. Because I'm always going to be like, well, it could be a lot worse. I could be doing way more work for way less money. But again, I don't know. I'm in the position I'm in right now for some reason. So, there you go. Okay, that was really weird. Again, I gotta stop doing these things outside. I just become paranoid and hear every single little thing. Like that crawling noise in my car. I don't know what the fuck that was. If we ever will find out what that is. Or was. I gotta get in the shower when I get in. I'm gonna take a really quick shower. No fucking around. Just get in, get out, go to bed. Because tomorrow I gotta be at the stadium. Why do we have to get to the stadium so early on Saturdays? It doesn't make any sense. Sunday day games, we don't have to get there that early. So why Saturday, games? They don't start late afternoon, but they don't start... Well, they do start late afternoon. It's like 5. But why do we have to get there so damn early? Doesn't make no sense. Also, let me just say this. Both times I worked tickets at the stadiums, Diamondbacks lost. Just saying. I don't know. I'm slowly running out of ideas now. Maybe I should end this thing sooner than later. But I feel like the best is yet to come. Oh, also, let me just say this. Last week. Last podcast, that's what I meant to say. About the potentially racist hand gesture with the upside down okay thing. That's so dumb. I talked to a couple people about it. One friend of mine said, that's always been racist. And I don't know why I didn't think to go, since when? What does it mean exactly? But I didn't ask. And then I talked to Alex tonight, and he said, that's so stupid. And then he goes why does the KKK have to ruin everything? And I'm like, I know. What's the next thing they're going to ruin? Is a thumbs up going to be the new racist thing, or 2 thumbs up? Or what? They're going to take some new innocent thing and, ruin that. And I'm really starting to think, what if that Wrigley fan, that Cubs fan at that game, what if it really was just hey, I'll give you $50 if you do it? And instead, that guy's going to get banned. You know what he has to do? All he has to do is, here, look at this, and then just go on the internet and just show a bunch of meme pictures of that thing and be like, this is not racist. This shit's been around since the mid 80s. All right, I'm just going to repeat episode 12, and I'm not going to do that shit again. I'm not going to do that to you. But again, it really pissed me off. And it still kind of gets me. That bullshit. Oh, great. There's the first yawn. Now I'm just going to have a bunch of yawns follow that up. Man. Oh, man. I've talked to some guys in the past, and, you know, people talk about, like, daddy issues. It's like, I have daddy issues. But they talk, like, girls had daddy issues. Well, what's, like, the guy perspective? Like, the equivalent to a guy. A guy doesn't have daddy issues. Does he have mommy issues? Or is he, like, a mama's boy or something? What exactly is that term? Because it is a thing. You know, if a girl has, you know, like, issues or problems with her dad or whatever, well, what if a guy or a boy has problems with his mom and everything, basically the opposite gender? What's the term for that? Is it mama's boy? I don't know. I feel like mama's boy means something else. I'm gonna have to go on urbandictionary.com and look this shit up. But yeah, like, girls with daddy issues, just like I don't know. I may have said this before, but I'm just, I don't know. I can't handle, you know, girls with daddy issues anymore. It's just too much baggage. It's just, I just can't. But I'm not saying I don't want to be friends with them. I just don't want to, like, you know, be involved with, you know, them anymore, because it's just mentally draining. And it sucks being like, I get it, you had problems with your dad and everything, but don't take your problems out with every single guy on me. I'm not the spokesperson for males. You know, I mean, don't, just because a male coworker, you know, pissed you off, don't take it out on me just because I'm a guy, you know. Plus, all the freaking, like, super rough sex and everything. It's like, why do I have to almost kill you to, like, get you off? Can't we just, like, keep some of the shit basic? Just some, not all, just some of it. But I don't know. You know, some guys are, like, the exact same way. They are into, like, intense hardcore stuff, and girls are like, but what the fuck? So that's more of an equal, you know, thing right there. That's not just, like, a girl thing or a female thing or whatever you want to call it. And speaking of Baggage, the dating show, is actually one of the few, like, dating / reality shows that I will watch. That show is fucking hilarious, both intentionally and unintentionally. So basically what it is, if you don't know, it has Jerry Springer on it. He's the host. And what happens is they'll bring out a guy or a girl out, and they say they're looking for a date, a guy or a chick or whatever. So let's just say a girl comes out. She's all dressed up. She's like, I want a boyfriend. I want to get fucked. I like to get fucked, or whatever. Because we all know that hot girls are terrible at sex because they actually don't know what to do. Because they just get fucked. So when it comes to, it's like, all right, you do something. It's like, I just like to get fucked. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do with this thing? Whatever. So anyways, the girl comes out, and she, you know, explains, I want a boyfriend. So they bring out 3 contestants, and they all stand next to, you know, a luggage or whatever. And they open up the luggage, and inside each luggage it says something, you know, luggage thing. And some of these things, they're like potential problems. You know, it's like when you go on a date and somebody's like, all right, I gotta tell you something. I'm a Dodger fan. And you go, oh, that's a deal breaker. You know, something like that. So and that's where the show gets really funny, because some of these things are like, I sleep with my eyes wide open. And then the next luggage will be like, I like to dress up as a clown during sex. And then the other one is, I'm $10,000 in debt. And then the girl has to decide which is the one baggage she will not handle. So she'll say something like, I don't want the $10,000 in debt. And then the three guys will rearrange. And then it'll be like the hot guy. And it's like, oh, you have $10,000 in debt? And he goes like, yeah. So then he's eliminated. Now it's just down to two. And same thing. You know, they bring out two new suitcases. And then they go, okay, open up the first one. And then the first one will say something like, I like my dog more than my parents. And then the other one will be like, I dress in ladies' underwear on Thursday afternoons. And then she has to go, I don't like you like your dog more than your parents. And then this guy goes, all right, that's mine. And then she goes, what? And then, I forgot the final round when it's just her and the other guy. But I think, the girl has to explain that she has baggage too. So hers will be like, I can't think of any examples, but just dumb things. But the whole idea of baggage that I think is hilarious is like, why can't I would love to go on that show and just make shit up, you know, and just see what the hell happens. And you're always interested, because sometimes they'll be like, yes, I'll go on a date with you. It's like, no, I won't go on a date with you. So you like, I watched this whole show and they didn't go on a date. What the fuck? And then they do go on a date. And you think to yourself, man, I wonder if there was ever a second date. I wonder if there actually was, or she bailed out, or he bailed out, or if they got married or something. But like I said, that baggage show is fucking hilarious. Because I would go on there and just make shit up. You know, I go up there all dressed in like an Iron Maiden t-shirt and, you know, black pants. Oh, jeez. What the hell was that? That was like my Shaun of the Dead impression. My zombie impression. Fuck, it's only 47 minutes. I want to go inside and take a shower and go to bed. But I guess I gotta wait a little longer. You know, speaking of Shaun of the Dead, that movie is really funny. And the actor, Simon Pegg, he's actually really funny. He was in Hot Fuzz, and then At World's End. Oh, he was in the movie Paul, but I never saw it. He's in the Mission Impossible movies. He was in what other movie was he in? No, I don't know, but speaking of Mission Impossible, can Tom Cruise just, like, stop making movies? Tom Cruise is one of those guys where you look at him and you're like, I want to punch this guy in the face. I don't know why. I just kind of want to punch him in the face. Not that I'm saying I want to punch Tom Cruise in the face, but I am saying, can Tom Cruise just stop making these action movies? You know, good for him. He's doing what he wants and he's making money doing it. But can you, like, make some more movies? Maybe, like, widen. Like, A Few Good Men. That was cool. He was, you know, taking on a dramatic role. It wasn't an action movie. There's a lot of yelling in it, and yeah, he's a good yeller. Tom Cruise is a very good losing your shit actor, but I think one of the best is Leonardo DiCaprio. Dude, Leo knows how to lose his shit. And I don't know. Leonardo DiCaprio, man, that is just, you know, with a name like Leonardo DiCaprio, you're gonna be a ladies' man. For fucking sure. I mean, come on, dude. You got, like, Bill Johnson or Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, you definitely know. You're a chick. You already want to sleep with Leonardo. Not fucking Bill or Tucker in the corner. No, show me where Leonardo is. Or Leo. And then DiCaprio. Man, that guy has it all going for him. Fuck, I wish I had that name. You have, like, a hot name. That really helps out. Whether, like, men and women want to admit it or not. But it really is true. You know, imagine a Scarlett Johansson. Imagine if her actual real name is Olga. Olga Johansson. But she looks exactly like Scarlett Johansson right now. Her name is Olga. Would she still be hot? Would she? I mean, yeah, she would. She would just be a hot Olga. And what's an ugly guy name? Like what's a ugly, like, bitchy guy name? Like I don't know. I think Bill Johnson. I think that's like a, because you hear Bill Johnson, you think of like some old white-haired guy. Some dude that was like, he actually saw the last time the Pirates won the World Series back in 1979 when he was like 25 years old or something like that. That's what I think of when I think of Bill Johnson. Now, lame lady's name, well, Olga, but, I mean, I can't really think of, anything else. Here's a good question. What's a good whore name? What's a good slut name? I can't really think of any. I'm trying to think of, like, some preppy, like, like, I guess it's like the Kardashians. What are their names? Like Kim? Or maybe, like, Britney. Britney has kind of like a... But I'm just basing all this off of, like, celebrities. Like Britney Spears, or she kind of was, like, went off the deep end. Oh, what about Jamie Lynn Spears? Remember her? Remember Zoe 101? Whatever happened to her? Oh my god, my stupid... My body keeps making stupid noises. I fucking hate it. I probably shouldn't have hit the steering wheel since I'm right in front of my house, but you know what? It is what it is. Anyways, 51 minutes. Probably going to wrap this up a little soon. Pretty good podcast. So like the last 10, 15 minutes were kind of lacking. But hey, you know what? They're not all going to be bangers. It's pretty good still. So what do we got going on? Tomorrow is Saturday, today is Saturday. I swear to God, dude. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't get, like, fucking nervous when I record, so why is my body, like, just all acting up and just being weird and everything? I talk all day long. So why is it now when I record, it's like, can't help you, fam, and just starts making all these weird, gurgly noises. It's annoying. It's annoying as shit. Anyways, so Saturday I work, Sunday work in the morning, and then I'll have Sunday night off. That's going to be interesting. What am I going to do Sunday night? If I'm not closing on Sunday, and I work Sunday morning, so I'll already be up and about. That's going to be interesting. I don't know what I'm going to do Sunday. Maybe I'll come back and play drums. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll get off work, come back and play drums. Ow. And then, maybe go hang out with somebody on Sunday night. I'm not sure. I don't know. Here's what I do know. I need to fix my sleeping schedule because it's almost 4 a.m. and I can't keep doing this. So my goal for the summer is, I'm going to sleep in, but I need to go to bed at a reasonable time because let me tell you, waking up at like 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon really fucks up your whole day because you don't go to bed till like 5 a.m. When you go to bed when the sun comes out, you know you got to fix something. You got to fix your sleep schedule. It just reminds me of when I used to deliver newspapers and I was going to bed at like 7, 7:30, 8, sometimes 9 in the morning. 9 in the morning, I'm going to bed. One time, I swear, I went to bed at like 9 and I woke up at like 5 or 5:30. I woke up, the sun was down. Think about that. You go to bed and you wake up and the sun is down. And you only got 8 hours of sleep, keep in mind. Not like you slept for 12 hours or 14. No, you slept for 8 hours, but you wake up and the sun is down. It's a really weird feeling. That was a moment I knew, like, I can't do this. Look, I'm a night person, but I can't wake up at 5 p.m. and start my day with the sun gone or almost gone. Don't like that. But that newspaper job, man, I got a bunch of stories from that one. In fact, I'll tell a couple, but I maybe on the next podcast I'll talk about like former jobs and go into like my newspaper rendezvous. But they still have newspapers and you still deliver them. So I was a paper boy or a paper man. That's what we prefer to be called. So basically what happened is, long story short, you go to the warehouse and you get your inserts and you get it all laid out. You get your rubber bands or your bags, whatever you want to do. You can either put the newspaper in a plastic bag or, rubber band it. And rubber banding can sometimes go quick. Putting them in a bag can sometimes be quick too. And then you wait for the truck to show up. Truck could show up really early or really late. You never know. If it shows up late, nothing you can do. It means you're going to get off work late. So a truck shows up. You get the main paper. You bring it back. You put the inserts on top of the newspaper. You load it in your cart. Take the cart outside. Load it in your car. Bring the cart back in. And then go to your route. And then you just deliver newspapers. You can go, as long as you were finished before, I think it was 5 a.m., 5:30 maybe. On different days it changed. When it was like Sunday, the Sunday paper, when it was a lot, you got extra time. Saturday, you got like an extra 30 minutes too. Sunday, you have like another hour because the Sunday papers are so fucking big. But I would just deliver I would get the newspapers and just put on music and just go go and listen to music as I was, throwing newspapers. And yeah, it was fun. The first month was like, oh my God, I wanted to quit. And me and my dad actually split the job. I think my dad actually was kind of like, he brought the idea up to me. So I went over and I, asked him, hey, you guys hiring? And did the job interview, got hired, and the bummer is, because honestly, I would, consider doing that job. The bummer is it's 7 days a week. You don't get any time off unless you can get someone to cover your shift. Which, how the fuck are you going to do that? Who's going to cover your shift? And here's the best part. It doesn't have to be someone who worked at the warehouse. I could get my friends to do my route. Didn't matter. My boss literally said, as long as the papers get delivered on the route, it doesn't matter who delivers it. So there you go. But it's 1 in the morning. It's usually, give or take, 1 to 3 in the morning. Roughly. If you know what you're doing and the truck shows up on time, no problems. It's about 1, sometimes 12:30 to 3, 3:30, sometimes 4 if, the truck's late or you have a new... It depends on what day, too, because Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday you have big papers. Monday and Tuesday you have little papers. Thursday and Friday they're like medium-sized. So there's a lot going on. But, and not just that, it's 7 days, you don't get any time off, and they don't take taxes out. So at the end of the year you have to... It's, like I said, it's a good job. I liked it, but it really wore on me because on Saturday nights, I had to leave. If I went to a party, I had to leave early. I had to go do the inserts because the inserts for a Sunday paper, that alone took like an hour to do. So if I wanted to do that, I had to finish that and then do the Sunday papers too. Oh God, it was a nightmare. It took forever. But on Sundays, they open the warehouse at like 8 in the afternoon, 8 p.m. So you could go to the warehouse and get your inserts done hours early. That way you can show up later and you don't have to show up at 12 o'clock and do the inserts. But next to the paper warehouse, there's a Circle K, and I would always try to get there early, do the inserts, and just walk to Circle K. I used to bring my longboard and just longboard around the parking lot or go across the street and just, practice longboard, listen to music. It was it was a very chill job. It was very laid back. I had bosses, but they basically just, told me, deliver here, deliver here. This lady wants the paper delivered here. A couple times they'd be like, yeah, they say you're throwing the paper too far up on the driveway. Some say it's too low. So I'll be like, okay, I'll fix that. But my bosses loved me because I always showed up. They never had any like major complaints. Every once in a while, I'd throw paper into the rocks a foot outside their driveway. Because there was a point there was actually a point where I got so comfortable with the route because I did it all the time. I timed myself a couple of times. Like I would be like, all right, here we go. And I would just speed through this whole thing. And keep in mind, I delivered in an apartment complex on the route. And you could do that whenever. But I tried to do it first and get out of the way. I think my record was like 56 minutes. And that doesn't sound that quick, but let me tell you, that was super quick. It was like a Monday. I only had like 170 papers, which is like literally nothing. And I was just flying. It must have looked really funny because I was flying up and down these streets. And I knew the route so well, I barely even had to look at, what house got what paper. I already knew. So I would grab papers and put them in my lap and just throw them out left and right, and taking shortcuts, doing all this shit. Yeah, it was awesome. But I'll tell more about that newspaper delivering bullshit job, another time. I'm going to bed. It's 1 hour and 1 minute. That's a pretty good podcast. That is the podcast. I'm going inside, taking a shower, and going to bed. So I will see you next Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you later. Bye.